All right, folks, well, the weather is starting to get a lot nicer, and with that, we're starting to see an influx of people starting to get out and recreate and camp in the woods. But unfortunately, along with that, we're starting to see more garbage, specifically when it comes to doing the business or the number two in the woods.
This is mostly like in dispersed camp spots. Most of the time we are not camping anywhere near town, where we're out on public land, which could either be national forest or BLM land. And a lot of the times the places that we come to have already been established, so they are frequented by other people who are out camping. And there's just a lot of trash being left behind from personal business.
Yeah. And this is actually a question, you guys, that I have gotten quite a bit on my channel from you guys. So if you're interested in what we have to say about it, stay tuned for the rest of the video.
So a couple of the reasons why this is bad. One thing is it's unsightly. You come into a camp spot, you're out in the middle of nowhere. You're not expecting somebody else's trash to be left behind or to have to clean it up. A lot of the times this can cause places to be shut down. So if you like frequenting these public land spaces, it'd probably be a good idea to start picking up trash that you see around, and definitely not leave any behind. Another reason is it can cause disease. Daisy, one time when we came to a camp spot, she actually found some and ate it. So that probably was not the best for her. If you come to these spots with your kids, they can end up stepping in it. You could step in it. So it's always best to just not leave it behind and pick up whenever you do see it, because one thing you really don't want to have to happen is having the site closed down.
All right, so let's talk about a few ways to take a poop in the woods and be a little bit more responsible and leave no trace. So the first option is to dig a hole. Now, I've done this for a long time. You dig a hole. I've got my shovel here, and you dig something anywhere from 6 to 8 inches deep. You do your business in the hole, and then you fill in over the top. Now, one thing that I would recommend is don't leave your toilet paper behind. You should have a garbage with you, so take your toilet paper out with you. The poop will biodegrade very easily down in the hole. So if you are overlanding or your van life, you should always have a shovel with you. If you're backpacking, they've got plenty of different little backpacking shovels, or even just to go into the garden store and pick up a little spade shovel, and then dig a hole, do your business, and fill in over the top.
So another option that you could choose is a portable toilet. There's quite a few options out there. There's also called a Luggable Loo. It's pretty much a 5-gallon bucket, and it has a toilet seat, comes with some bags that line it. I actually have one myself, and I find that one to actually be the best option, at least for me. There's other options. There are cassette toilets, which are ones that have like a 5-gallon capacity, and they can hold probably 2.5 gallons of waste along with 2.5 gallons of fresh water. So once you go to the bathroom and use it, you can clean out the bowl by just pushing a little plunger button that will pump in some water. I used one of those before, and it was actually really great in holding the smell in. So if you're concerned at all about smell, that would probably be one of the better options, along with the composting toilet. If you are constricted by like size, I would probably recommend getting the 5-gallon bucket, like a Luggable Loo. Camco makes a great brand. They sell them on Amazon. It even comes with some bag liners, which are actually pretty heavy duty. So if you're worried about leaking or anything like that, I never experienced any problem like that. They also make like secondary options that you can buy also off of Amazon or any like store like Camping World, and they are biodegradable. Those ones, you have to be a little bit careful with how long you leave your waste in there, because they are biodegradable. So as heat builds up, they will start to break down, and then your waste will leak out. The other option is actually one that I just discovered, which is called a Lavio dry flush toilet. This one is actually pretty cool. It doesn't require any water. It comes with its own battery. You can hardwire it into a 12-volt system. So you don't have to worry about, the battery dying and having to replace it. So the bag itself is made out of Mylar. Once you do your business in it, you press a little flush button and it will actually use a vacuum to suck the bag down, and then it will actually use a mechanism that twists the bag, so it twists right above your waist, sealing it in, and the vacuum will then pull down another bag for you to use, which I have not used one of these. I was pretty interested in using one of those. They are a little bit higher on the price point, but not as expensive as a composting toilet, which for some people, a composting toilet, you can drop like $900 to $1,000 on, and that's just not feasible. I believe the Lavio toilet is somewhere around $400 to $500. The cartridges, though, you can get a 3-pack. I found them as cheap as $60. On Amazon currently, at least at this time of recording, they are $100 for 3. So depending on how often you use it, you might end up spending $60 a month in order to do your business, which I don't know. Some people might find that a little bit off-putting. I know I do.
Yeah. And then for me, the composting toilet, I've used one of those before in a tiny house situation, and that was great because it didn't move. But I'm a little bit anxious about the way the composting toilet works in a vehicle that moves, especially like Sasquatch here, where I take it out off-roading and overlanding because your pee goes into a bucket, and I'm afraid that would just slosh all over the place and be a real problem. So I'm not real fan of that. I think I'm as far as a very simple one, I like her Camco Luggable Loo. I think it's very affordable. Yeah. And I think that would be the simplest option that would cover people that are van life, camping, or overlanding, especially the camping and overlanding crowd.
Yeah, with the Luggable Loo, although I was a little bit concerned with being sanitary when I was replacing it, as long as you're not filling it up to the brim, you probably will not have any problem with it. The little lid kind of gives a good little splash guard. I would definitely recommend that, especially for the price point, which I think I spent $20 on mine. And the refillable bags were about another $20, and I got 30. So I could replace that throughout the month, and it only cost me $20 rather than $60.
Right. Yeah, that was kind of the downside on the Lavio or whatever. I'm not sure I'm saying it right, but I liked how it worked. But I do feel like you would really have to have, I don't really feel like it's a great option for the camper or the overlander. I do think it would be a great option for the van lifer if you have the space in the van to put it, because to me it kind of seemed like an option that needed to be hard mounted, and so you really had to kind of have a space where, again, the Luggable Loo is just something you can kind of use and then kind of pack away somewhere outside of the van, maybe even.
Yeah. The Lavio's cartridges are a little bit bulky. I think that would also be a concern for people who live van life. I see it more as an option for people who are hunting or fishing or, setting up camp somewhere for more than a week. I would definitely think that would be a viable option, especially if you didn't want to have to deal specifically with waste, because it does do a pretty good job with twisting that bag and keeping it contained.
Right. I did like that feature of it for sure.
And now Jason's going to talk about his favorite way that he likes to go in the woods.
Thanks. So my favorite way now is to use doggy bags. A lot of times if you have dogs, you have doggy bags already on you. This was actually a way that Meagan taught me about. I was doing the dig a hole method, but I've gone to this method pretty much exclusively. Some good points about it is it's fully leave no trace. You don't have to have any special facilities in your van, and also it's just doggy bag, so it doesn't take up any space in your storage. So if you're camping or overlanding, you don't have to make extra space to store some type of toilet system. If you're in your van, you don't need to make some kind of space inside your van. So again, it's just very easy to use. A lot of people have some problems with it because it is having you pick up your own stuff. But if you're already used to picking up your dog stuff, it's really not that big of a deal. And so I can actually do my business. I can take my wet wipes, which are my wipes of choice. I like them over toilet paper. It leaves you feeling a lot cleaner. I can take those, put them in the bag, pick up my stuff, tie everything off and just throw it in my garbage on the outside of the van. I don't have anything inside the van that could start stinking, and I'm leaving nothing behind in the camp spot. All right, folks, well, that's everything that me and Megan have to share with you on this subject. You know, our public lands are just a real treasure, and we want to make sure that they stay open and capable for people to get out and explore and enjoy for a long time. And Megan and I have both seen great places shut down to camping because of messes left behind by people, and we really want to try to educate people as best as we can and hopefully keep these places open. So anyways, if you found this video to be useful, please do give it a like. If you guys have some suggestions that we didn't share here on how to take care of the business or number 2 in the woods, please leave those in the comment sections below, and we'll catch you guys again
outside.
Good job, baby.
You like it.